Let me just check and make sure that I am up and running. Copy the clipboard. And then I'm gonna go and paste and go. All right, so it looks like we are on. Just wait for a few more minutes to see if anybody is joining. Alright, it looks like OBS is up and running and recording. And just waiting to see if anybody else is going to hop on. 2 more minutes and I think I'll get started. Alright, so the goal for this session is to utilize Phoenix Jumpstart, the starter kit, and build like a microsaas to see how it works in action. So I am going to get started, excuse me. So I have just made a copy of the source code that you would normally clone from the repo into a folder called PDF watermark, which is what we will be calling the application. So I'm just going to, where am I? I am inside here, and then I'm going to inside. Now the first thing I need to do is to rename the project, because the source code is going to contain the naming of Phoenix Jumpstart because we just cloned it. So let me just open it so you can see what I am talking about. So this is a code base that we have just cloned, and if you notice, inside all of the references point to Phoenix Jumpstart, which is the name. We need to change it to PDF watermark. So there is a mix task to do that. Mix, and 1 second, Glory is here. Hey, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit slow because this is the first time I'm doing a live demo and a stream at the same time, so I might be making mistakes here and there. And hey Glory, if you can hear me, just say hi. So let us get started. First I'm going to rename the project using the mix task, which would be mix rename Phoenix Jumpstart, and then call it PDF watermark. And obviously we need to export the keys, and first we need to set the keys. Oh, I forgot to actually set the pricing products for the PDF that you're using here. So first I'm going to do is head over to Stripe and just sign in, and hopefully it'll allow me to go without any issues. Okay, we are in Acme. I'm going to go to products and I will create a new product, and I will call this PDF watermark 1, and this is a one-off price, and the price is, let's say, $4. Add this product and let us get the price ID, copy the price ID, and we are going to head over and take a look at our env file, and plan 1. I will explain what all these different plans are. Let me just go ahead and create another one. And then I will call this PDF watermark 2. This is also one-off, and we'll call this $6 for instance. Add a product, and then click on this again to get the price ID, and then head back onto the env file and then paste it, and hey Glory, so the basic idea of this app is very simple. Let's just pretend that we found a really great idea on PDF watermarking, and then we want to provide a service for that. So in this initial session, what I plan to do is start the project with the starter kit, and then we are going to add two endpoints. One is to accept the PDF and the watermark image, and then we are going to add the necessary code that is going to do the PDF conversion for us. And we are going to use ImageMagick, and if you did not have ImageMagick, you can just go ahead and install it with the brew install ImageMagick. I will try to find the exact comments and then add them to the comments in the video. Once you have that, next thing we need to do is add the secret key and the public key for the starter, and I forgot to do that ahead of time, so let me see if I can find them somewhere here. So I'm just gonna open a new folder, then too much stuff. Let me just open the folder that I want, and then head over to the env file. Where is that env file? Let me come here and Acme. So I'm just going to copy these are the same test keys, and then did I just close that? Yes, I did. Why did I do that? Okay. PDF watermark again. We come back here and head over to the top. So these are secret key and public key that you would get from the Stripe dashboard, and the webhook key is available inside. If you head over to let me see, products, developers, not products, sorry, webhook, and then you would find the webhook endpoint that Stripe would send all the details to. You can just click on this one, and then it's going to show you the HMAC signing key that you can get from here. Now I just realized that before we can actually run the app and connect with Stripe, we need to have the tunnel running. So for that, you can set up ngrok http for 4000, and then the tunnel is running, so we copy this SSL HTTPS endpoint and then come back here and then edit it right here, because each time I stop and start the ngrok tunnel, this address will change. You would normally set in production, you would use your application URL, and that will not change. But since we are in dev and then we need HTTPS endpoint to receive the endpoints, we use ngrok. So we have set the ngrok tunnel, and then we need to now, let me see, did we cover all of the keys? No, we did not do the key base, so let's add it. Mix phx.gen.secret and okay, all right, I'm just going to add the ngrok URL first. Let's just go ahead and add the missing keys first, and then I'm just going to put something random here, just 1 2 3 ABC and source dot, I don't need to do that actually. Yes, I think I need to source the env files. Source dot env mix phx.32, and then it will, since it's compiling for the first time, it might take a few seconds, so we'll let it run. Alright, so while it is running, let's just quickly glance at the folder structure. So this particular section, Phoenix Jumpstart, which is going to be renamed to PDF watermark once I run the mix task I was attempting in the beginning. And this is going to contain all the core business logic, excuse me, and then the underscore web folder is going to contain all the web facing components like routers, controllers, live view, and the endpoint, excuse me. Stripe handler is the main module that is going to handle Stripe webhooks. And when you create an endpoint for Stripe webhooks, you would typically select what events you want to listen to and handle the events in these function calls here. So the behavior is webhook handler, which comes from the Stripe package, and then for each of these events we have a handle event function. So this is for charge succeeded, and here is invoice payments, and then for subscriptions and all. And our main goal is, once everything is hooked up and we have the tables created to store the purchases information, we want to utilize this particular event to capture the payload that comes back from Stripe, which will contain the amount, the charge ID, and the customer details, and then store it in our database. If time permits, I will do that. My main goal today was to just give an overview of the kit and then hop on over to the PDF functionality. Let's see what happens next. All right, so this has been done, and the secret, this is what it looks like. I'm going to copy it here, come back, env. and paste it. So we got all of these, and these keys at the very end, Google Client ID and Google Client Secrets, these are used for setting up OAuth for Google login, and SendGrid API key is your API key for sending emails. We're not going to use that right now. I don't think that should cause any hindrance. And these plans that we have here, the initial thinking was you would have two plans, like one starter and one annual, and one starter and one higher tier, and then for each of these plans you can have monthly and annual, and that's why you have two values here, four values here, two for each, and these would go inside the landing page pricing table. I'm going to show you in just a moment. All right, we did that. We would do source.env, and before we go ahead, we are going to be utilizing a database, so let's go ahead and set up the DB user here, and we will just call it PDF watermark underscore dev, and you can put in the username and password here. Okay, wrong place. This is supposed to be the username, and this is my local database, so there's no password. Localhost, and the database name is this. Save it, and we are now going to source the env file, mix deps.get to download all of the dependencies, and then now we will try to rename the package. And you do that, you can see that the name has changed, so now it has renamed it. However, in the JavaScript folder, assets folder, which contains the JavaScript assets, there is a tailwind config file. In this, I will have to extend the script so that it will also come and change the naming here. Without this change, the CSS will not, the tailwind CSS will not work properly. So I'm just going to do this manually for now. All right, and then we are going to run mixecto.setup. This is going to set up the database and run any seed scripts. That's fine. Let's see what this error is. Application master. All right, close, low. Let's head over to the application file, which contains the startup information, and it is complaining about what? There's daily run, there's user state holder. Okay, yes, I know the reason. I need to fix that. It needs to include the correct prefix. And then let's try again. Oops, my mistake. All right, so this, the reason it complained just now is because of the naming inconsistency. So let's just fix both of them one time so it's consistent. And then inside the application, we will just tell it the name of the file is pdf watermark dot user state holder, and daily run. So these are just two gen servers that you would use. Daily run is a sample script as an example on how to set up recurring tasks, and user state holder is a generic gen server to hold state of the currently logged in user. And now it should work. Right, so that was the issue. I need to fix that in the kit, and we will just close this. Now the application is running. If I go over and start, what port is this running on? Oh, it's not running yet. IEX -s mix phx dot server, and then this is the stock landing page that you receive with the kit. All of these are coming from a standard HTML page with just regular Phoenix templates, and they are located inside components, landing page components, and then we have the nav bar, the hero, features, benefits, pricing table. And pricing table is where we would specify the price and the cost for the item. So in our case, we want to replace add the correct price ID for these two buy buttons to reflect our the PDF charges that we just added in Stripe. So we're going to do that in just a minute. I want to quickly show where this page is coming from. So inside controllers, we have a folder called home, which is a group of the controller and then the view files. So home controller is the one which is going to read the pricing, product pricing information from the env file, and then it is going to allow you to read, it's going to add these values as URLs, which we're doing here. And when you click on the link, based on the pricing and the plan, it will either go to the users register page or the checkout session. So if it is a one-time purchase, it's not going to be subscription based, so we would set this as true, and then it is directly going to go to the checkout page for us to capture the user's payment information. If it is a subscription, then it will take a different route. We will cover that in another case. Currently we are only interested in one-time payments. So the first thing we did was we added the information inside the env file and sourced it so that they're available as export variables, and then we can read them at runtime. So let us check what the prices are saying. And obviously we want to also change the price that is displayed here. Obviously it's not 99. Hey Glory, let me know if I'm going too fast, or if I'm not specifying information correctly. Let me know if I'm going too fast. All right, so now we want to go back to the landing page, head over to the pricing, and we can comment out this section because we are not doing any specials or anything. And let me see, what was the pricing I chose for? I forget. One was 4 and one was 6. So this is $4, and the second one is $6. You can just change the prices to reflect your product and add any necessary CSS to indicate if it is pre-sale or a special sale going on, or whatever the case may be. And I am not going to change any of the verbiage here. Right here, I mean, this is reflective of what the kit does. You might want to go ahead and change it to what is reflective of the PDF page, PDF functionality. The same goes for the FAQs at the bottom, and also to update your socials and emails. All of that is done right here in these landing page components page. Your pricing table, the FAQs. So here in the FAQs, you can just replace it with your own FAQs and change the styling to fit your requirements. Right. And the idea is when you click on this one, we want to go to Stripe checkout, and then you're going to put in the name and email. I want to just set like a little inspect statement so that we can see what is the information that's coming back from Stripe. So I'm going to go to Stripe handler, and then oh really, you're only seeing part of the screen? You cannot. That's weird. What do I do? So can you see this checkout page now? All right, can you see the checkout page? Can you see the check out page? Also, there seems to be a slight lag from showing my screen and what I'm typing. Right side seem to be off screen. Let me see. We see half of the email field. Oh, really? I don't know. Alright, let me. I wonder if I need to do something here. Video capture. You don't need to see my face. Does it look any better now? What about now? Can you see it? Right now I'm on the Stripe page. Are you seeing it completely? When I scroll up and down? Oh, dang it. This is why I was afraid of live streams. Okay, all right, let's see. So this is supposed to be the full screen, okay? And now? Little bit better. Sorry, I don't know how to fix this. I probably should have tested it out before you guys came on. Apologize. First time streaming, so making a lot more mistakes than I usually do. So anyway, right, so here we will come and we will put in the email, and then typical test Stripe cards 2 28 1 2 3 Sriram Teshan. Oh, it's better now. So I guess I just needed to center it. Obviously I don't know how to use OBS. Okay, and then 1 2 3 4 5. Right, so this is just a standard checkout session that we launched from the landing page. When you clicked on the button, it ended up inside this controller. Let me see, where's that? Checkout. Yes, checkout session controller. So when I hit the button, it landed in this controller and it picked off the price and the subscription is equal to true or false value, and then accordingly set the success URL that it is supposed to show when the operation finishes. And then we are on this page. So now, yeah, that's fine, you don't need to see my face. And then pay, right? Okay, that was my mistake. Inspect is not defined. Why is it not defined? Okay, so in the stock, this is what it does, because I do not know what your next operation would be. So as soon as a payment is done, it is going to send, Stripe is going to redirect to the success URL, which would be any page you want where you're going to handle what comes next. And the one thing that we need to do is IO. Yes, this is why it was a problem, because I left it halfway. So let's try this again. And come back here, pricing, Stripe again. And all of this is just test data, so we can go ahead and fill it up. test2@mail.com. Standard card numbers, $12.29 123 Sriram test 2 1 2 3 4 5. Don't want to save the information, and the expectation here is as soon as the payment is successful, it is going to land in this event, charge start succeeded. And the payload coming from this particular event, we captured the person's email, the charge ID, and all of that good stuff, and then we would save it into a database. And let me see, what do I have here? Handle event. Right, so here is where all of this information is created, and I need to create a customer table where it's going to store that. So we're going to do that. I just want to show what the payload looks like. Obviously it's going to fail over there because there is no table for it to store the data. And my mouse is going crazy. Just one. Yeah, there you go. Right, so this is the payload that comes back from Stripe for the charge succeeded event, and we want to store for reference this particular ID, charge ID, which I handle in this function here. So we got the payload here, we extract the billing details, the amount captured, and then the receipt URL. Receipt URL should be at the end. Okay, so card details, email, receipt URL. So once that is done, you would redirect the user to another page where they are going to upload the PDF and then get a stamped watermark PDF. For that, I haven't completely finished. There's two missing pieces here. One is that this particular data that we are capturing after the payment has succeeded, it needs to go into a database, and once that is done, then we would be routing to a page where the PDF is done. Now I put that in a separate application, so I just want to briefly detour into that application and show the interface and the functionality, and if time permits we can hook that into it today, or if you guys are up to it, maybe I can do it tomorrow or day after at the same time. Let me know what you think, because I didn't really plan on doing the whole thing in 1 hour. I was actually thinking of kind of pacing it a little bit, because it's the first time for me. I'm making a few silly mistakes here and there, and some of you might also be new to Elixir and Phoenix, and I really wanted to take time and make sure everybody's understanding what I'm doing. How does that sound? Yeah, all right. So at this point, we came as far as having a database, copied the code base, installed the dependencies, set all the Stripe keys. Now the second part, the fun part of the equation now, is to show the code where we upload the PDF and the watermark and see everything in action. And I'm also going to show you how the actual transformation happens. And for that, I'm just gonna head over to this new code base. Don't worry, it's not very complicated. I will explain to you, and then tomorrow we will integrate all of these in. File, new window. And to top it off all, I have a small laptop, so I don't have much screen space, so everything feels like it's tightly, congested. Thursday? Yeah, Thursday is good, so we'll do Thursday. What about you, Christian? I would love if you could also hang out with us. Right, so I'm just gonna head back into my code folder, and then I have this application called Watermark, and I am going to quickly dive through the code base. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Cool. All right, so now I'm actually looking at another code base which contains the logic for the file upload and processing, which we are going to add into this. Just because I'm not so great at live coding, I've been playing with this offline and put it together, but we are going to in the next session put this all together. So we have two live routes here. One is called watermark, and the other one is called the actual downloading portion. Once the watermark is finished, this is incomplete. I'm going to complete this offline, and then we'll walk through this next time. Right, so let's see what the endpoint live view actually looks like. So this is a shell script. I will open that later. This will also come back later. Go into the code, live view, watermark live. And so, as you know, a live view basically has a mount function and some other callbacks for handling all the interactive stuff, and then the render function if you are showcasing the form or HTML in place. You could optionally put it in a separate file. That can also work. And since we are running this application on port 4000, we cannot do the same thing for this guy here. So we will run this on, let's say, 4040. Okay, so now I'm gonna go here, cd stuff, watermark clear. All right, source, there are no env files here, so I'm just going to run this again. iex -x makes phx dot phx.server. Okay, so all right, all right, so it is complaining about what? The port failed to start. It is saying I cannot start because the address is in use, meaning it is the port is not available, but it is. All right, let's try one more time. All right, so 40 90 damn, this mouse is driving me nuts. I have an iPad open on my side to read some notes I made, and now the mouse looked like it disappeared. Hold on one second, I'm gonna close this. Yes, that was it. That's annoying. All of a sudden the mouse disappeared. All right, now we are back in action. All right, so it looked like it took a little bit of time to check the ports and run, so now it is fine. So I am going to just launch the application 4090, and I'll call this endpoint as watermark. All right, so the basic idea is it's a simple form, and once everything is hooked up, this functionality is going to show up here. Instead of this success page, what we are going to do next is, as soon as the payment is successful, in this Stripe handler, we are going to create a migration for a new table, customers table, in which we are going to store the purchase details so that we can see that in the admin panel, and redirect them to a page that looks like this. And the files that we upload here, they end up inside the statics upload folder, which is inside priv. And why does my mouse keep turning off? Dang it. Okay. All right, cool. So we're here, priv static, and we have the uploads folder here. So one small mistake many people make when they are setting the uploads folder is they forgot to include it inside the static paths function, which is defined inside the web folder, which is right here, watermark web, and then inside the static paths you need to make sure uploads is available. If this is not available, then you're going to get errors when you try to access the upload folder. All right, so that ends the slide detour. We come back here, close the endpoint, and we are inside the watermark live view, and it is just a regular Phoenix live view. One thing we are doing here is we are utilizing a pub/sub functionality to get notifications when operations are done. So for instance, in this scenario, once the files are uploaded, the processing might take a couple of seconds, and then we want to be notified as soon as that is done. And to do that, we are enabling pub/sub, and that is done here in config. If I can find that line. Wait, is it in config or dev.exs? Right, inside the application folder we are specifying the pub/sub is started, and then we are going to access it by this name. And I keep forgetting there is one other place where that is set. Let me see if I can remember that. It's not yes, inside the config where the endpoint configuration is set, you also need to make sure that there is an entry called pub/sub server and use the same name that we had inside the application. If this is different, then you're going to get errors with pub/sub. Right, so we got these two and we configured pub/sub, and you would typically use subscribe and publish functions to set in for broadcast information and consume information. So one place where we are going to do it is inside the live view. We are saying as soon as the socket has established connection, then subscribe to this topic called watermark status. You can call it whatever you want. I wasn't feeling very creative, so I just named it watermark status for now. And then you have this standard configuration for file uploads. We are uploading two files here. One is a PDF and one is an image file. And inside the save, we are going to get the files that are located in the uploads and then putting them inside uploads folder and then calling it as source and watermark PDF, and they would end up right here, source and watermark, right? And when that happens, the next step would be to actually start the process, which is going to be performed by this module image watermark, which we are calling from here inside a task. So wrapping this function inside a task means we just shoving it into the background and then letting it run and then continue processing without blocking the front end. So as soon as this is done, the page will return as if everything is fine. And at this point, I think, yes, we are also going to show a loading screen. I'll soon talk about that. So upload the files, get both files, move them into priv static so that the next stage of processing, the script will know what files to get, and then kick off the actual transformation process in the backend. Set a flag called processing so that we would see a spinning barrier, and then move on. So I'm gonna close this. We don't need this anymore. Let's just step into the transform portion. So the image watermark function is going to accept the PDF and the watermark, and a token is simply a unique identifier that we use to specify a particular operation, so that it will actually use that to name the file so that we can differentiate between different clients operations. And the actual magic happens on this command, system.cmd. We are invoking a shell script. Yesterday when I was playing with it, I was calling the script directly and it wouldn't run. It took me a while to figure out that you would have to invoke. sh is a Unix shell command which is going to invoke the actual script that we are passing with these parameters. And let's just jump over to the actual shell script here. And inside the shell script, you would have your basic error checking to see the number of arguments are correct, and if you're able to create a temp folder. And then convert and composite are programs that come as part of ImageMagick tooling. And what this is doing is it is actually taking the PDF that you upload, converts it into an image, and then it's going to look at each of these PDFs. So if it's got multiple pages, you will have multiple PNG images, and for each of those it is going to use the composite function and then apply the watermarked image we gave, and finally it is going to convert all of those watermarked PNG images back into a PDF, and then clean up after itself and copy the file to the static uploads folder and exit. And that is what we are doing here. And once we have a return code, it is sending a broadcast message on the pub/sub, same topic, and we are handling that here. Handle info, and you would probably need to do pattern matching on the messaging if there is any different success and failures. Like for instance, the operation could fail, and in that case it would be a non-zero return value and you would have to handle it appropriately. And then we are turning off the flag to close the barrier. All right, enough talking, let me show you what it looks like. So upload a PDF, and let me see, what do I pick? Something small. All right, I found this PDF, I'll use that. Next is a watermark, and for the watermark I just made this image so that it shows up on top. Open it, and then when you run watermark, it's going to show the barrier entry to show that the process is being done. And then next it is supposed to take me to the another page from where you would be able to download the PDF. Let me show the final output. So let me go to where is my coding? Dev. Right, so this was the original without a PDF watermark, and this is the one where I actually put in the watermark. That is pretty much it for today. I think a lot more things could be done in terms of handling errors when the operation has failed, redirecting to the download page, and then showing the admin view with the different PDFs that have been converted. I want to show that on Thursday because I just noticed some couple of small things I need to fix, so I'm gonna work on those, and then we can reconvene on Thursday. I hope that was useful. What do you guys think? Right, so the next part is okay. Yeah, but you can check the recording because it's going to be recorded. I'm going to probably add some additional notes to go over to see if I missed anything. But in the second part, we are going to merge this functionality, and then we would be able to see this live view to process the PDFs as soon as the payment is made, and also see a situation where if the payment was unsuccessful, what we should do. So yes, I'm going to send out another tweet. Thank you. So I also thought of a couple other things, but I just didn't have time. One additional thing we could use is to add an email at the bottom of the PDF. Time permitting, we'll probably try to see that as well. All right, so thank you guys so much. This is my first time, so it feels good that there are two people here and they waited until the end. Thank you so much for your time. I will send out another notification when the second part is due on Thursday. And obviously, if you cannot make it, you can watch the recordings and hit me up with any questions you have. I really would like to keep doing this because I have ideas for other small projects. And yeah, so let's see how this goes. Thank you so much, and you guys have a great day. Bye.